Good morning, Miss Kim. You greeted Kim Yuri with warm smile as he entered an office. You walk towards the lift to take the lift, but you feel someone tall hovering your back as you can feel the cold aura of the person as you look back and you greeted him. Good morning, sir. You greeted him, but he didn't say anything as he was busy in checking his schedule. He totally ignored you. You entered in the elevator. You stood behind him as he was about to press the floor button, but he pressed, and both of your hands touched by each other, and you took your hand back slowly. Yeah, I will work on it. What? When? Tomorrow? Okay, I'll be there tomorrow on time. He cut the call and the door opens as he walked outside, and he thought you would come out, but you didn't as you have some work on the other floor. Are you not coming outside? Come, I have something to discuss with you, he said with straight face, maintaining his cool composure. Yeah, but I have to take files from 8th floor, he said as you got surprised a little bit. He was lost in your thought and he was busy in his work, not paying attention to you. Come fast, we have new project and I will discuss with you. And take old case file also, he said, disappearing from your sight as the lift doors closed. Why so cold? He didn't even reply to my good morning, and now he have new work for me. My day will be hectic today. You entered in the lobby area looking for the analysis file. As you found this file and started taking it out, there was another file which accidentally fell off, and you put a hand on your forehead. You was arranging the files in order which fell. Suddenly, someone stood in front of you, and you smiled looking at him. Felix, hi. After a long time I'm seeing you. Did you went on some vacation? Felix is your office colleague and more like your best friend as you both were in same university. Anu, I just went to see my mother in Busan. She was in hospital, he said while helping you to arrange files. Oh no, what happened to auntie? Is she fine now? You asked him with concerned look on your face. Yeah, she's fine now. She went with heart surgery and I have something to ask you. Or could you do me a favor? He asked with a little shyness. What favor you want from me? Tell me, if you need some money. You said, putting a hand on his shoulder, giving him assurance. On you? He said, little annoyed. I have money, but you know, Miss Kim Yuri, he said, feeling little shy, and a mischievous smirk placed on your face as you understood what he wanted to say. Boy, you want me to talk with Miss Kim Yuri? For you like her, tell me. You asked in amazement. You didn't know that someone is staring in your direction from afar as he was walking towards you, and saw you smiling and being this friendly with someone as he only saw you obeying him. You don't have to talk to her. We both already started dating each other. You hit his shoulder with your fist and he fell as he was sitting on his knees. You betrayer, you didn't even tell me that this much happened. I was going to tell you, but as I have to visit my mom and totally forgot. But now I wanted to propose her for marriage, and I need your help to finding dress and jewelry and best of stone as you are master in making plans, he said as he sat back in his position and held both of your hands. So first of all, you didn't even care to tell me your relationship, and now you want me to arrange everything for you. So mean. But I will do this only on one condition. You made a vow. Don't ask me for any kind of expensive gift, he said with skeptical face. You smiled mischievously and said, You told me that you have money, now you're backing up? But let it go, you are my friend. I will do it. I was just joking. Listening this, Felix jumped in excitement and hugged you, but you both interrupted with someone call your name. Miss Ryan, I was waiting for you, and what are you doing here with this mess of files? He said with a little bitterness and angerness, as he didn't like someone hugging you. You both stood up and both saw it to him. I was just coming, but these files fell off and I was just arranging these, he said with little hesitation as you know his anger. Yeah, I see how you're arranging them. How fast we have new project, I already told you, he said sarcastically and folded his hands across his chest. Yeah, I'm coming. After I finish this mess, you start picking up the files. No need to do that, just pick the files you want and come to my cabin. The rest of the work will be done by the cleaning staff, he said, and you picked up the files as it was heavy, and he was about to fall, but he catches you by your back before you fall. Thanks, Mr. John, you said, being flustered as he was very close to you, and he took some files from your hands. Why are you so clumsy? You are about to get hurt, he said, and left as he followed him, bidding bye to Felix. He entered the room as he closed the door and moved in front of his desk. We have to visit our new branch tomorrow as we have opening ceremony there, he said while working on his laptop, and then looked at your direction. Tomorrow? You asked as you put the files on the desk. Or when, Ryan? We have to go for inspection as next month is the opening. He looks at you. Okay, but sir, I have a request, you said hesitantly, and he frowned. What's it? He asked while working on his laptop. Sir, I want to leave for a day, you said as you bit your lower lip. For when? He asked as he looked up. 3 days later, on 25th, you said, and he thought for a while. Okay, but who will do your work on that day? He asked as he curiously looked at your reaction. Sir, I will tell Wuhak. He will replace me for a day, you said while looking down. But Wuhak is Mr. Shin's secretary. Why he will do my work? He asked as he smiled internally. He will do if I say, you nervously said. But I don't like his work. No one can replace you, he said, and he looked at him in eyes. So I don't have any more options. Fine, I will not take leave, he said while looking down as he started going towards the door. See straight if you don't want to give leave, he murmured, not audible to him. Ryan, the leave is granted. You stopped as you looked back at him, and he started working again. Granted? Real? Then who will do my work? He asked, being surprised. I will manage on my own. His gaze remained focused on laptop, and a smile appeared on your face, and he smiled seeing you smile. Thank you, sir. You walked further as he jumped in excitement, and he adores you from afar. You entered the restaurant as you saw your friend already sitting there, waiting for you, and she waved at you, and you smiled. Ryan, here, she shouted, and you went towards her as you took a seat in front of her. So finally, ma'am, you got the time? You said as you put your belongings on the table. Yeah, finally. You know, right, how my busy schedule was, she said, sipping on her boba tea. I see in office. I don't have time either to see you. You took a bite of sandwich as you said, you don't have time to see me because you are busy seeing your so-called handsome CEO who keeps you busy all the time. She spelled the words and you frowned. Wait, what do you mean by seeing handsome CEO? He mused and mimicked her. Means, you asking me. She pointed at herself. You know better than me. She smirked as she looked sideways drinking her tea, and he looked at her confusion. Hey, you snapped in front of her face. It's not like what you think. Yeah, I didn't say anything, but I know what is going on. She looks at you teasingly. Leah, he's my boss. Stop. You hit her shoulder as he settled in your seat, and she chuckled. A boss whom you know everything about him, the amount of sugar he likes, what does he like to eat, what's his favorite color, what does he like or not, she continued as you grabbed a croissant and put it in her mouth, and she that glares at you. Eat first and talk less, and those are because I'm a secretary, and this is normal. You drink coffee, and she looks at you skeptically. Oh really, Ryan? And what about meeting him at late night, huh? She raised brows and started coughing. It was just he needs that file which I accidentally took home. He still glances from her and she glared. Good morning, Mr. John. She bowed and your face turned red as you looked back and your expression changed and Leah started laughing. I will kill you, Leah. You cursed her and she laughed more. Look at your face, you still red. I just said his name. She laughed while you silently eat your food, glaring at her. No, stop this. Shift to another topic. You were eating as you checked the time and your eyes widened. shit, Leah, break time is over. Let's go, otherwise we'll be dead meat. And he already had meeting. I had to go fast. You got up and picked your belongings as you left in a hurry. You reached his cabin, but didn't find him as you picked your tab and checked the meeting timings. And it's already 5 minutes late. You thought he already left for meeting, so you started rushing toward the meeting room. You stopped as you found him in hallway talking to someone on phone, and you frowned as you went near him. "Sir, you have meeting right now," you said, and he looked back at you as he cut the call in a hurry. "Yes, ma'am," he asked, and you showed him tab, but stopped as you frowned and put the tab on the near table as you looked at his tie and tied it correctly and set it in his coat. And he looks at you while you're busy fixing his tie. And after fixing it, your gaze met with him, and you both stared at each other. Suddenly, his phone started ringing, and you backed off, and he cut the call. "So you have meeting with board directors, and they are waiting for you," you said, being flustered as he nodded. "When please cancel my all evening meetings or schedule." He frowned but nodded. "Okay, sir, I will schedule it for next day." He nodded, and you both left for meeting. You took out the car keys, and before you could open the door, he opened the door and gestured you to sit, and you looked at him blankly. "Sit fine, we are getting late," he said as he was staring at him. "Sir, but I will drive the car. You sit here." You denied, but he took the car keys from your hands and made you sit, and you protested but failed. "Who said you will drive the car?" "Sit quietly, I'm going to drive the car." He sat in the driver's seat and started the car, and you looked at him blankly. "But sir, it's my duty, and I'm your secretary." He drives the car, but he looks at you, and he suddenly came closer to you, and your breath hitched as he holds your breath and looks at him closely while he made you wear the seatbelt. But when he looked at your face, and he smiled internally, and he sighed deeply when he gets back to his seat. "Your duty is to obey me." He looks at you from the rear of your mirror, and you look down as you played with finger. You were watching TV as you turned it off, and your stomach started scrolling, and you checked for some food in fridge, but your fridge was empty. "Leah, you didn't bought groceries today?" You asked Leah, who came out of washroom. "Oh, no, I forgot." She faced palm herself, and you shook your head. "Now, very nice. Now we don't have anything to eat." "You wait now. I'm going to store to buy something." You wore your slippers and hoodie as it's cold outside. Bell rings of the store as you got out of the store, and you struggled holding a lots of grocery bag as you walked, and your hands and face getting cold because of cold winds. As you walked further, you reached in front of a restaurant, and your gazes fell on the person sitting behind the glass in a restaurant, and you squint your eyes to look properly, and you looked at him, and then the girl in the red dress sitting next to him. You frowned as the person was none other than your CEO, but your eyes widened when the girl in front of him intertwined his hand with her, and Jungkook looks at her and then smiled. And you watched all this, but you don't know why you feel hurted as someone was stabbing your heart. You stumbled a bit, and the poly bag in your hand fell, and all the vegetables and other things fell on the floor, while you bent down to pick it up, and Jungkook's attention diverted to you. But you wore a cap to hide yourself as you start picking up the vegetables. While he curiously looks at you, you grabbed the poly bags and rushed out from there. You reached home as you put it all grocery bags down and were lost in your thoughts, and Leah came near you as you slowly taking out the groceries, and she slightly hit your shoulder, and you looked at her. "Where are you lost, huh?" She sat at dining chair. "Nowhere." "Leah, can I ask you a question?" You asked, and Leah nodded. "What does it mean when a girl holds a guy's hand and the man smiled or blushed?" He said, and Leah thought for a while. It means that they both are in love and might be dating," she said as she carefully looks at your expression, and you look down. "Oh." You shake your head as you're still looking down. "What happened, Vine? Why are you asking such questions?" She mused while you shrugged off. "Nothing. I was wondering. Leave it. It's not that important. Now prepare dinner. I'm tired after picking these heavy bags all the way long. You said, smiling, hiding your pain, but Leah noticed it. Okay, going. She looked at you worriedly but didn't say anything. Leah started chopping the vegetables and her phone started buzzing, and she noticed it was yours, and she looked at the caller ID. Mr. Jungkook. It was written, and she looked for you, but you weren't there, and then call dismissed. Why your phone is ringing? And I think it's your boss. She started chopping. What are you saying, Leah? I'm not getting. Wait, I'm coming. He replied from restroom. A message popped up on your phone and Leah checked it. It was from Jungkook. Miss Ryan, can you meet me right now? She was reading message, but you came wiping your face with a towel as you picked up and Leah stared you. Ryan, did something happen with you and Mr. Jung? She asked as she cooked food. Who? Mr. Jung? No, nothing happened. Everything is alright. You checked messages and turned off your internet as you put your phone on silent. Oh, but your boss was calling you, she said as you scratches your head. It's nothing. He was asking about a client, nothing more. Leah nodded as she prepared food. Jungkook entered the cabin and he saw you already sitting in cabin as you were working on your PC, and he moved forward as he was still looking in your direction, and he was expecting you to greet him, but you didn't. Ryan, give me my today's schedule, he asked as he was still looking at you. I already sent you. You didn't check yet? You replied coldly without looking at him, and he frowned. Oh, I forgot to check. He started checking his schedule. Ryan, today we have to visit our new branch, so be ready. You nodded without looking at him as he took a seat. Okay, sir. You tried to answering him in less words, and he frowned as he didn't know what happened to you. Can you please make a coffee for me? He asked, and you finally looked at him as your gazes were stern as he nodded. Okay, sir. You got up and went in office kitchen as he started preparing coffee, and you were about to add sugar in it but stopped. But you grabbed sugar pouches and put it near the cup and took the tray. Thanks, Ryan. You placed the coffee on his desk and he smiled while thanking you, and you nodded as he sat on your seat again. Jungkook still trying to figure out what happened to you, cause you usually don't behave like this, as he grabs the coffee and he drank it, but in a second he spilled it out of his mouth as it was so hot, and he groaned in pain, and you looked at him as he got up in action and went near him, and you passed him chilled water and looked at him in concern, but you stopped, and he quickly took water from your hand as he drank it and looks at you carefully. Thanks, Ryan. He wiped his mouth with tissue, and you looked at him as his lips were all red cause it got burned. You should be careful. Why you were in so hurry to drink it? You could have waited. He said coldly with straight face as he took an ointment from your purse and applied it on cotton, and you bent down to his level and slowly applies it on his lips, and he looks at you carefully while your gazes were on his burnt lips as you were busy reading it. This coffee is usually not that hot, but today it was burning hot. He was trying to speak as you were applying ointment, but you stopped him. Shh, let me treat first. You scolded him and he smiled. You're done with treating him as you get back to your seat, and you didn't stop smiling. You both were in the new branch as you were inspecting all the areas and taking the checklist. As you walking, and he was behind you talking with manager, and you still maintaining your cold composure. You looked backwards as you were about to approach him, but then a girl entered smiling as she approached him, and his expression changed as he smiled seeing her, and she hugged him, and your faces still straight as you went near them. Sir, I have checked all the checklist. Everything is fine here. Is anything else I have to do? You handed him the checklist, and the girl with him looked at you as she frowned. Thanks, Ryan, and meet her. She's Miss Sunhee. Sunhee smiled looking at you as she looks at Jungkook, and Jungkook looks at her as if they both were talking twice. Hi Ryan, nice to meet you. She extended your hand to handshake and you accepted as she smiled and you smiled awkwardly looking at her. Nice to meet you too. You looked at Jungkook whose eyes were fixed on Sunhoo. Okay Ryan, let's go on dinner together as you have worked hard today. He asked you with hope and you denied. Sorry sir, but I can't as I already have plans. Jungkook nodded. Okay, no problem. Let me drop you to your home. It's already late. No, sir, I can go by myself. I will take cab. You shake your head in denial. Well, Jungkook will drop you safely as it's already 9 p.m. and it's not safe if you go alone. She spoke in between and you look at her. It's okay, ma'am. I can go by myself. Thanks for your concern. Jungkook looks at you in disbelief and you started leaving. Lift's door were about to close, but Jungkook entered suddenly out of nowhere and you looked at him as he turned your face other side. Ryan, I need to talk to you, he said while he didn't respond. We will talk later, sir, he replied coldly. No, Ryan, I need to talk to you now. Lift's door opened as you got out and Jungkook follows you. Listen, Ryan, he called you and you stopped. Tell me what's it, what little work is left that I need to do, you asked and he frowned. Nothing, just get in car, I'm dropping you home. He spoke curtly, sliding into driver's seat. He gestured for you to follow, but you hesitated. With a sigh, he honked the horn, jolting you from your thoughts. You climbed in reluctantly and buckled your seatbelt as he glanced at you. You're on leave tomorrow? His voice broke the silence, but you were too lost in your thoughts to respond immediately. Oh yeah, you stuttered and he nodded, eyes fixed on the road ahead. The silence in the car was almost deafening. You sneaked a glance at him, your thoughts a chaotic mess. The events of the previous night played on a loop in your mind, making you chuckle softly to yourself. You're crazy, Ryan, you thought. Are you mixing your personal and professional life? He's your boss, nothing more. Jungkook noticed your downward gaze, worrying flashing in his eyes, but he said nothing when the car stopped in front of your house. You hadn't even realized you'd arrived. Ryan, he reached over gently to shake your arm. Startled, you unbuckled your seatbelt and quickly got out the car, bowing to him briefly before turning to leave. Jungkook watched as your figure disappeared into the dimly lit street. With a sigh, he opened the glove compartment and took out a small velvet box, gripping it tightly. This is it, he thought, stepping out of the car and calling after you. Ryan. His voice echoed in the quiet street. You froze, turning back to face him. His expression was unreadable, his dark eyes locking onto yours. Ryan, I know this might sound strange, but he hesitated, taking a deep breath before meeting your gazes again. Would you like to date me? He opened the box to reveal a delicate pendant. Your eyes widened, disbelief washing over you. Heat rose to your cheeks, and for a moment you were too stunned to speak. Images of Sunny flashed in your mind, the memory of her holding his hand, the way he smiled at her. The confusion and frustration bubbled to the surface. No, your voice was quiet but firm. Without waiting for his reaction, you turned your heel and hurried inside, leaving Jungkook standing there frozen in place. He let out a bitter chuckle, closing the box with a soft click.